Good afternoon, sports fans. I'm Jason Malloy, sports editor here at The Guardian, joined once again by columnist Fred Fiddler McDonald, or you might know him as The Prophet.
You got it. That's the way it is. It's what I'm known as.
So the Charlottetown Rugby Football Club had a big Saturday. They won the Nova Scotia Tier A championship, and their Tier 2 team also won the championship.
It's unbelievable what's happened with rugby in the last 10 years. I've written about it in The Guardian many times. I've been over to the Quap Field. You see the high school rugby teams? All senior high schools have good rugby teams. And as a result, the teams at Holland College or UPI, they should have good rugby teams because look at all the graduates they're playing. Now they're coming through and playing in this team here, the Charlottetown Rugby Football Club. Girls, unbelievable to go over and win the Nova Scotia PEI Championship at the top division and then have the second division team also win. Hey, you just can't beat it.
Yeah, they had a hell of a season. They've only been in existence for 2 years. How many championships they got? 2.
Yeah, and you know what? You keep talking to the people that are around that team. Guys at Dale McLeod, that used a great coach at UPI, and one of the great players, Billy Doucette, and they were telling me last week in one of these tournaments, there was the old-timers, these Mudhouse Rugby old-timers. They played against a team from Nova Scotia, and one of the stars from Nova Scotia was a guy that's 72 years old. 72 playing rugby against guys like Billy Doucette. Are you nuts?
So are you going to join the team?
I'm not 72. I'm only 62. Get it right.
60.
Next topic.
I think we should just give a shout out to James Voy and the coaching staff of that Tier A championship team. You know, it's not easy when you're dealing with young women who are trying to balance everything from, you know, a social life, work life, trying to save money to go to university, yet they always show up with lots of numbers to each and every week. And I think it's easy to see that those girls love playing for each other and love playing for that coaching.
You know what? Well said. And you know what? People out there are starting to realize you're not just a pretty face. You know what you're talking about.
That makes 2 of us.
And listen, get back. James Noy. Isn't James Voy? People keep talking about him as being a top coach. Though they have a tournament named after him in Three Oaks or something.
His father in Summerside was a key contributor, to founder of one of the Three Oaks programs up there. So
wow,
it runs pretty deep in that family.
You got to tip your hat to the rugby people in PEI. They've done a terrific job, and keep going to those high school rugby games.
Absolutely. The PEI Eagles, the under-19 girls softball team, finished second at the Eastern Canadians Sunday at Central Field. You told me you had a couple names that you thought we should mention here. Some of the girls that played really well.
Yeah, I thought Hannah Sentner, the catcher, was outstanding on Sunday, the games I saw. And you got to go with the pitchers now. You got Sydney Hollywell and Margaret Reynolds. She was outstanding as well. And then you got lots of Robin Power was terrific. And Sarah Murphy, every time she came to the plate, she hit a smash somewhere. Very, very good hitter. And by the way, that's Darren's daughter.
3 for 4. And the one time she did get out was her first at bat, I believe. Lined a shot that looked like it was going to center field. Girl playing second base for the Lac St. Louis Lions Quebec squad dives, makes a hell of a play, and that seemed to be the way that it was going for the Eagles on Sunday. You know, they were making good contact, but they were either hitting it right at one of the defenders, or a defender was making a real nice play against them.
And that's the way it goes. But you got to give your tip of the hat to Chris Hollywell and Bobby Power. They've been with that team for a long, long time, and it's great to see. Most of them are all back next year, I believe, except one.
Except for Sarah. Yep.
Sarah. So they're going to have a heck of a team again next year, and good for them. They put the work in, and they deserve it. Oh, getting back to the rugby, we almost forgot. Where do you think Heather Moy started out? As a rugby player. That's the first time I saw her over at the Quap Field about 15 years ago, and she could fly. So there you go. You never know what happens in rugby. You might see a future Olympian.
Kings County Baseball League playoffs are underway. They started game 1s Wednesday night. We've got the Alley Stratford Athletics playing the Peaks T-Bombers, and the other series, the North Side Brewers and the Morel Chevys.
Well, they had 2 tough matchups. I mean, the Alley team from Stratford, they have a heck of a team. They picked up Brian McIsaac, and Grant Grady's with them, and Sean McDougall. They got a pretty good team. They swept Peaks last week 10-3 and 13 in really 2-0 games for Peaks. Exactly. So gonna be a very tense matchup, and they go tonight, and my head says and my heart says Peaks are going to knock off the alley. Watch and see. And the other series is going to be tough. You got Morel, first place team, playing Northside Brewers. Northside Brewers now, they have the best pitcher in the league, Jordan Stevenson. And you notice the other night, 14 Ks, gave up 2 hits. He's just starting around and he gets some innings under his belt. If he could pitch 3 of those 5 games, Northside could upset. But he pitched Monday night. I don't think he's going to come back tonight playing and pitch in the opening game. But he's a young stud. He could do it, and he's a great pitcher.
Yeah, everyone might remember Jordan from his time with the senior team, the Charlottetown Goodies Auto Body Islanders. He was dominant there, and he's just as dominant in the KCBL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Brody McDonald, I don't think Brody's playing.
I don't think Brody's playing.
I don't think so. 2 great pitchers. They were tremendous last year in the National Senior Tournament in Fredericton. Tremendous.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, absolutely. I like to throw those in now and then, make sure you're in the ball and correct me every now and then. It's good.
Well,
Keeps the readers out there, reviewers out there honest.
I was
That's what I like.
reflecting on that on Sunday when I heard your brother Tex on the microphone at the Eastern Canadians. He was part of that coaching staff with Keith Craswell
That's right.
over in
That's
Fredericton.
right.
And maybe we'll just plug hopefully we see that senior team get back playing next year. There's a lot of good ball players, and hopefully they can get it going again after taking a year.
That's right. And you get a lot of good kids playing in Kings County. You get a lot of graduates, a lot of young guys coming up on the youth teams and junior teams. So I hope they have a senior team. Peter McDonald the owner, did a lot of work. Brody stayed on that team last year. I'll bet you he has a team ready for next April. You watch and see.
Charlottetown Islanders have essentially set their roster. There's still a couple of moving pieces. They're still waiting for making the final decision after the guys come back from NHL camps. Joseph and Drew are both going. We hope that they're back. And if they are, it's going to be a really strong Islanders team this year.
Yeah, I hope so. But you know what? Here it is, August 28th. It's 30 degrees outside, and you're talking hockey. I don't watch hockey in August. Don't watch it in September. Don't watch it in October. I'll go out on Remembrance Day when the snow flurries start coming. Hope not, but when it gets a little cooler.
Well, but you might miss some good hockey if you're going to wait until November.
Well, we'll let you cover it. I'll let you cover it and watch the games on TV. I'm not going down on November 11th.
Well, I'm sure you'll get out to watch some basketball by then, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm waiting to see what everybody around here, everybody, you, me, and all the Islander fans or Storm fans, are waiting to see if they're going to sign Franklin Session. We're hoping he becomes available.
Fingers crossed. That's all the time we have for this week. Please join us again next week, where Freddie will probably have a couple musings on the NFL starting.